guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do something special. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by. And thank you all so much for all of your wonderful, positive support. I really do appreciate it. In a previous video, you guys heard me speak about Mark, the Quilted Marine. Well, he's at it again because he is doing something oh so fabulous in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, I'm not a quilter, but I thought it was awesome to make something that not only highlights the importance of breast cancer awareness, but it's also something that acknowledges what many families are touched by every day. So then I started thinking how I would like to adopt Mark's idea on a very small scale because I work with paper mainly. So I thought I'll create a little faux-like quilt out of paper and then use it on something. So what I decided to do was to make a nice little box that has a faux quilt on the top. And this is a perfect way of giving a gift to anyone who is currently living with breast cancer or any type of cancer or illness. All you have to do is change out and you can turn this into whatever it is you want it to be. But since I was so inspired by Mark, I tried to make mine look like a little mini quilt. And I'll give you guys a closer look in just a minute. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here is a closer look at my box with the faux quilted box top. I even did some imitation stitching on the top, and I'll show you guys how I did that. But this box when finished is 5.5 by 5.5 by 2.5. So it is a nice size little box. I am not doing anything to the side because I want to keep that rustic natural look. But like I said earlier, I was inspired by my friend Mark, the Quilting Marine. He is doing a breast cancer awareness quilt, and he really is quilting. So I thought I'd do a simplified take and do my version in paper in small form. Mark is making a very large, purpose-driven quilt. I am making this on a small scale, but I also think that it is purpose-driven because you can give this to someone who is either a survivor or has been touched by breast cancer in some way. So here's what we're going to need to make it. I have 6 strips of 6x1. I have 3 of one pattern and 3 of another. Then I have 1 piece of that natural cardstock that I showed you in a previous video. This measures 5.5 by 5.5. Then I have a piece of that same natural that measures 9 5/8 by 9 5/8. And I have a third piece of that same natural that measures 11.5 by 11.5. Here is the cardstock that I'm using. This is from Color Block. You get 30 sheets and it's just craft natural. And I bought this at Walmart and it is $5 for a pad of 30. So we're going to go ahead and make the box first so that we can get that out of the way. And then I'll show you how we're going to make that top. So we're going to take our piece that measures 11.5 by 11.5. This will be the box bottom. We're going to score at 1 and at 3 on all 4 sides. So I gave you the incorrect finished measurement size. It is actually 5.5 by 5.5 by 2. So we are scoring at 1 and at 3 on all 4 sides for the box bottom. Now we're going to do the lid. This is the piece that measures 9 5/8 by 9 5/8. And we're going to score this at 1 and at 2 on all 4 sides. So that's 1 and 2. And then I'll bring in my big old spatula because we are going to fold and burnish all of our scores on both pieces. And then we'll bring in the lid, fold and burnish on all 4 sides. So then once we have both of our pieces folded and burnished, we are going to remove 3 corner pieces from all 4 sides. So we'll remove this piece, and this piece. So we're going to go up to the 2nd score mark, which is right here, and we'll drag straight down. We can go ahead and angle in there. We'll angle here, and we'll angle there, removing these 2 pieces, and then we can reduce that in size, removing that 3rd piece. And so then we'll just go around and do the same thing on all 4. So go up to that 2nd score mark, angle in here, and remove that, and then reduce. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll be right back. All right, so now that we have all of our tabs cut out, you're going to have 2 ends that will have the end pieces already angled. This end and the opposite end have straight cuts. We're going to go ahead and just angle that outer flap slightly, and doing that just makes it easier to put the box together. So we'll just angle in a little bit and angle there. So let's go ahead and do the same thing with the lid. 3 corner pieces that we need to get rid of on all 4 sides. So we go up to that 2nd score mark, we go to the middle of the score mark, and drag down. We can angle, 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 and reduce. It really is all about repetition. It might seem like I make a lot of boxes, because I do, but the repetition of making boxes will really help you to grow in paper crafting. So I'll go up to that 2nd score mark, drag down, angle in, angle in, angle here, and reduce. I'll turn it to this side. I'll do this side, and I'll be right back. All right, so now that we have both of these cut out, we're going to put the box bottom together right now. So I am going to use glue, because when I am making boxes, I tend to use glue. Now this box is not going to bear a whole lot of weight, so you can actually use your tape runner, if you have a good tape runner, on this part. If you are going to put something in this box of weight, then I would definitely use my glue. So I'm just adding glue to my tabs. And I'll put it on this tab. And then when I'm putting it together, I'm making sure that my edges are nice and crisp and flush and even and all of that. Then I can go on the inside and get it stuck. And I'll do the same thing over here. So nice and even edges, meaning that your score mark here is aligned with the score mark here, and you'll have a nice squared box. So now that we have our box made, I always like to reinforce, especially at the top of my box, so I don't have a ragged edge to my box. So I am just going to add my glue all the way around. And then we'll take these outer edges, fold them in, and secure them down. Again, if you have a favorite glue or a favorite tape, you can use that on this process as well. So I'm going to take this, fold it in, and get it stuck. And we'll get this nice and stuck, and then I can go around just making sure that I have everything nice and stuck. We don't want anything coming undone with our special little box. So now we have our box put together. If you wanted to, I'm not doing it with this one, but if you wanted to reinforce the base, you can actually place in a piece that measures 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 on the inside to add some extra stability. And by a piece, I mean just another sheet of this cut down to 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. So that's the base of our box. This is the lid of our box. So we're not going to put it together yet because we need to do that faux quilted look. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the piece that measures 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I am going to add some sticky to the back. I am going to use my Xyron sticker maker to add the sticky, but if you don't have a Xyron sticker maker, you can take your tape and you can run strips of tape all the way across from end to end, giving yourself 100% coverage on this, and that's important. You need complete coverage on this. So I have added my sticky to the back of this, and I am just going over it with my big old spatula to make sure everything is nice and stuck. And then we have a protective piece of plastic. We just need to peel that away. And now we should be able to peel away the backer sheet and have edge-to-edge coverage on the back. So I used my sticker maker to get the edge-to-edge coverage, but you can get edge-to-edge coverage with tape. This will be a very simplified process. So I am just taking my pieces and placing them down on my adhesive, but I'm just going to alternate between polka dots and my non-polka dot paper. And in no way am I comparing what I'm doing to real quilting. This is just a very elementary way of getting a look. So I'm making sure that when I butt these, you can't feel any ridges as you come across. So I am just going to take this one, put it down, and then I'll take this piece and we're going to put it down. So now I'm just going to go over this to make sure that I have everything nice and stuck. I'll take my finger blade and I am going to trim away that excess. So I'm trimming away the excess from the final piece. And so now I have another faux quilt. Now to get the stitching, all I'm going to do is take one of my Cricut pens. You can use a fine tip marker, and I am just adding some little stitch marks all the way down. And I'm going to do this all the way across my faux quilt. How many you add and how big they are is completely up to you, but I just want to give it the look of these two pieces of fabric, faux fabric, being joined together and hand stitched. And I think it's turning out pretty cute. I'm going to have a link to the Quilting Marine in my description box so that you can go over and see the master at work. What I'm doing is very rudimentary. Nothing like what Mark is doing. I am basically just playing with paper right here, and he is making a bona fide purposeful quilt. All right, so once I have all of my stitch marks, I could go along the edges and stitch, but I think that that's enough. And I also think that by adding the stitch marks, it really did help to tie this together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little pouncer, and a lot of you have asked where I got this pouncer. I got it in the children's craft section at Hobby Lobby. So if you go to the children's craft section, they have all types of inexpensive, useful tools that we can use in our crafting. So they had a bag of these, bought a bag at Hobby Lobby, children's craft section. So I am just going to put a little bit of ink, and then I'm going along the edges. And I really want to give this the look of being an old, well-used quilt. So I'm not being too concerned about being light on the ink. So then I'm going to pounce, and I am just going to go on and lay down just a little bit more ink in different spots, because what that's doing for me is it's helping to age it a little bit. And so now that we have our little faux quilt done, we're going to take it and place it on top here. That's the reason why I'm not putting this top together first, because I want it flat. We're going to put it down using my handy dandy reptile adhesive. It looks like I'm putting a lot down, but I'm not. So now I'll take it, put it down, give myself some wiggle room to get into place. Then I'll flip it over and really work that glue in. Get it nice and stuck. Now we can put our box top together. So again, we're just going to place our glue on our flaps. Making sure that our edges are nice and tight. The score mark here is coming around to meet the score mark here. Then I'll go on the inside, get that stuck. Do the same thing here. Nice tight corners, guys. And then I'll place glue here. And we'll go ahead and get this finished. And now we can fold these backwards. We're going to add our glue, and then we'll fold all of these flaps inward. So I'll take that, fold it in, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold all of these in, and then I'll go back and we'll get them stuck. So you see them popping and becoming undone. That's okay, because we will go around, show them who's boss, and get them nice and stuck. So all I'm doing is going around each one, getting them nice and stuck. And so now I have another beautiful quilted lid, moment of truth. We put it on. We have a nice fitting lid here. So what I'm going to do, because I want to have my whole box look a little aged, is I'm really going to pick up some of that ink, and I'm going to go along those edges And I'll go along that like I just did. So this looks like a box that has seen better days, and that's exactly what I want. And just hit in spots with your ink to get the look that you might like. I like the worn old look. And now we have our box that measures 5.5 by 5.5 by 2. Like I said, you can add a 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 piece to the inside if you want to firm that up. So the last thing that I'm going to put down is I have these awesome stickers of encouragement from the Dollar Tree. You get 7 of them, and they are just so super thoughtful. So on this one, I use "Don't Lose Hope. You never know what tomorrow may bring." And on this one, I think I am going to take the one that says "Never Lose Hope," put it right there at the bottom, and I'm going to take one of my little pink flowers. These are Prima flowers that I've had forever. I am going to add some glue to the back. We're going to put that down and finish this off. So we'll give that a chance to dry. And now we have our beautiful sentiment of encouragement on the top here. Never lose hope. Don't lose hope. You never know what tomorrow may bring. I think that these are perfect to encourage anyone who might be going through anything, but in particular with this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I thought that my version of a paper quilted box top might inspire some of you to do the same, especially if you know someone who has been touched by this dreadful disease or a family that has gone through this dreadful disease. Every little bit that we can do to encourage is always appreciated, and it's always helpful, even when we don't think that it is. So guys, I hope that you'll go over and check out the super special quilt that Mark is doing for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Again, the link to the video will be in the description box. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.